Yo, what's up? Ricky Sanders here. If you live for fast cars, greasy hands, and solving problems under the hood, welcome to your new favourite spot. I'm all about real fixes, no BS, and showing you how to keep your ride running like a champ. So go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's make some noise in the garage. Enough talk. Let's get ready.
Many powertrain systems and devices can contribute to the fact that the gasoline engine runs like a diesel engine. However, there is one external cause that contributes to the appearance of uncharacteristic sounds. This is poor quality fuel. The main property of gasoline, characterizing its resistance to detonation, explosive premature ignition, is the octane number. If the engine is designed for AI 95 gasoline, and at the gas station you are filled with low-octane fuel, trouble is inevitable. At certain loads, fuel detonation occurs, accompanied by detonation knocks resembling the ringing of piston fingers and, remotely, the sound of a running diesel engine. Additives contained in the biodegradable gasoline cover the electrodes of spark plugs with a layer of red soot due to ignition. Lapses, the engine again trots. Tip: try to fill up at chain gas stations located in large population centers or along busy highways. If you run out of fuel, fill up at the first available gas station with the minimum amount of gas to get to the nearest inspected gas station. Ignition system malfunctions. As mentioned above, low-quality gasoline has a devastating effect on the work of spark plugs. However, even when using good fuel, you should not forget about their regular replacement. In the past, spark plugs were most often changed when the engine was already beginning to clearly lose its dynamic qualities or poor starting. Today, most manufacturers recommend in service books to replace plugs annually or after 15,000–20,000 kilometers of mileage. In this case, they are not the cause of deterioration of engine performance. However, you can buy defective products, and then there will be signs of their poor performance, including ignition skipping. Therefore, do not buy cheap plugs from an unknown manufacturer. The economy can go badly. Ignition distributor and high-voltage part of this system, wires and coils, can also be the cause of spark skipping. Leaky exhaust system. The exhaust system is capable of producing the richest range of sounds. Thanks to constructive measures, developers achieve a noble exhaust sound. However, the consequences of winter operation lead to the fact that one day from the muffler of your car will be heard rumbling, reminiscent of the exhaust straight-through muffler. From that moment all street racing fans will perceive this sound as an invitation to compete at traffic lights. The reason that the engine rumbles like a diesel is the leaking of one or another element of the exhaust system. All its components can burn through: the main and additional silencers, resonator, catalytic converter of exhaust gases, corrugation, intake pipe, pants, and exhaust manifold gasket. Sometimes there is no external damage, but the tractor sound is present. This happens when they knock out the burnt ceramic honeycomb from the catalytic converter and drive with such an improvement. Malfunctions of the timing gear, failure or wear of the timing parts, timing mechanism, can also be involved in extraneous sounds under the hood of a gasoline engine. The most common faults are knocking valves. This fault is inherent in older gasoline engines that required periodic valve adjustment, even at the first annual maintenance. Knocking can be caused by unskilled repair, poor fit of the valve plates to the seats, as well as deformation due to overheating of parts. Knocking hydraulic valve compensators. Modern valve mechanisms equipped with automatic adjustment are more durable. However, even in this case, the wear of hydraulic compensators sooner or later comes, after which they should be replaced. Loose or worn timing chain drive. In this case, the dangling chain gets caught in the cover plate, which causes a rattling knock. Bearing beds of the camshaft are worn out, because of which there are perceptible knocks, especially when the engine is not warmed up, when the clearances in the bearings have not yet got out. Wear and tear of the casing parts. The connecting rod and piston group is subjected to considerable stress during engine operation. As long as the clearances between the rubbing surfaces are not exceeded, a gasoline-powered engine is much quieter than its diesel counterpart. However, as the clearances increase as a result of natural wear and tear, the pleasant rustling background begins to be overlaid with metallic knocks of various kinds. The gasoline engine runs almost like a diesel engine. Sources of knocking in the connecting rod and piston group, root bearings, the wear of which is accompanied by low-frequency knocks coming from the crankshaft beds. The sound varies according to load and crankshaft speed. Possible cause of wear is oil starvation of the engine. The appearance of such sounds requires an urgent call to the car service to minimize the possible consequences. Rod plane bearings. These parts emit distinct, ringing metallic knocks, the source of which is the middle of the cylinder block. The knocks are particularly pronounced when the load is increased. To determine their source, the spark plugs are alternately disconnected. Driving with such symptoms may destroy the engine. Worn pistons. They emit muffled knocks, somewhat reminiscent of the diesel murmur, which can be heard after starting on cold. When the motor is heated, their audibility decreases. It is possible to drive in a quiet mode, but it is not worth it to postpone the engine overhaul too much. Attention! When the knock in the motor appears suddenly, the movement should be stopped and call a tow truck to get to the nearest car repair service. Other causes. The appearance of diesel sounds is affected by malfunctions in the operation of other engine systems as well. Improper cooling operation leads to the fact that the engine temperature does not reach the optimum value for the normal course of the working process in the cylinders. In this case, the thermal clearances exceed the design clearances, resulting in additional noises from the contact of interacting parts. If the oil pressure in the lubrication system is insufficient, the conditions for oil wedge formation in the bearings operating in the hydrodynamic lubrication mode deteriorate. This results in rougher interaction of crankshaft and camshaft working journals with their beds. There are other reasons, sometimes quite rare. For example, after overcoming a deep muddy rut, the space between the crankcase tray and its metal protection is clogged with liquid mud. After the car is parked overnight, this mud dries up, and the driver, starting the engine in the morning, is puzzled by the sudden vibration of the engine unit. This fever is accompanied by knocks resembling the work not even of a diesel engine, but of a construction perforator. With great difficulty it is possible to find the cause. It turns out that the dried mud prevents damping of torsional vibrations of the engine, and the latter are transmitted to the body of the car, causing vibrations and fractional knocking. Summarizing the above, we can conclude, there are many reasons why sometimes a gasoline engine works like a diesel engine. Among them there are both harmless and very dangerous, which, if not taken in time, can lead to failure of the power unit. Therefore, do not ignore any extraneous noises and sounds that are not typical of the gasoline engine. In conclusion, understanding why a gasoline engine may exhibit characteristics similar to a diesel engine is crucial for maintaining optimal performance and ensuring safety. The key features of this phenomenon often stem from issues such as improper fuel mixture, ignition timing problems, or mechanical wear. By recognizing the signs of this dieselness, such as unusual sounds or reduced efficiency, you can take proactive steps to diagnose and address the underlying causes. Implementing the recommended methods for elimination, including regular maintenance and adjustments, will help restore your engine's functionality and prevent potential hazards. Stay informed and attentive to your engine's behavior to ensure a smooth and reliable driving experience.